Hello and welcome to the Deepdale podcast. It's September 2023 and Deepdale Festival is just a few short weeks away. This podcast is another in the series of the Deepdale Festival podcasts, chatting to various artists who are playing at Deepdale Festival 2023. In this episode, I'm really pleased to be talking to the Leisure Society, Annie Dressner, Alex Hawkins and the John Ward Trio, who are all performing at Deepdale Festival 2023. For more information on the festival, including the incredible programme that Chris has put together, just head to deepdalefestival.co.uk. At the time of recording, there are a couple of non-electric pitches left, and there are day tickets available. We hope you'll join us for what will be an amazing weekend of fantastic live music. Enjoy the listen.
Skies all open wide, geese go high and over. Oh, now you're a beachcomber, a fistful of sandfire, sea, lavender, see you next year.
I am chatting to Nick, who has just showed me the beautiful view that he has from his outside patio up in the north from here. And these guys, the Leisure Society, are coming to play at Deepdale Festival. They are headlining on Saturday night in the Brick Barn. And to put it mildly, Chris is so excited about them coming. He can't believe that they're coming to his festival. Having seen them in Norwich a few years back, he is so happy about it. So thank you so much for joining me, Nick. Really lovely to have you on Deepdale Podcast.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Tell the listeners, where are you in the world?
I'm in a little village called Cryche, or just outside a little village called Cryche, between Cryche and Standwell in the Peak District. It's lovely out here.
It does look really beautiful. And is that where you find your creativity kind of sparks? Sitting in the beautiful countryside, or are you escape from the city, and that's where the real?
That was very much it. Escaping from the city, and I moved back here for a girl. That didn't work out, but the barn was amazing. So it's just perfect for recording. I do crave like cities for inspiration though, because it's very quiet life out here.
You don't find that cows and beautiful views help your creativity that much?
Not necessarily, but they can do, because I also work as a gardener, and I find that whenever I'm mowing or something like that doesn't require much brain power, I'll just kind of be singing along to demos and stuff as I'm going. So all my clients probably think I'm mad because I'm always singing to myself. But so that part of it is great. But I do like to get into the kind of the hurly-burly of the city to get inspiration from people, and combination is good. Being able to go to the city for a few days, have a bit of fun and excitement, and then come back and ponder on it for months on end.
And is the creative process for you really quick, or is it like a really long kind of process?
Both, really. Sometimes I can write a song really quickly in one go, like our latest song actually, that came almost in one go, in one evening. But then other times I can spend months, sometimes years, working on a song. Like Fight for Everyone, which is probably our most commercially successful track, that took me probably 2 or 3 years to finish. I just couldn't get the lyrics to it. So it varies a lot. And
with something like that song, was it the melody that came first then? Did you have that pretty clear and then you just couldn't quite get the words right, or is it?
That's exactly what happened. But it was quite weird actually. I sometimes get I can't quite explain it, but sometimes I get the melody and chords and a bit of the arrangement, they all kind of come in one go. So you kind of think, oh, I must have just heard that and it must be copied off somebody else. So you spend ages asking people, saying, do you recognize this? Is this familiar? But it's weird. They just kind of almost appear in your head. I guess they must be arranging themselves in your subconscious in some way, and then they just appear. But with Fight for Everyone, it was the melody of the synthesizer, a little bit of the vocal melody, and the chords underneath it all just appeared in my head in one go. Funnily enough, I'd been to the gym. I was cycling back from the gym, so there's video footage of me just like covered in sweat on this little keyboard playing the melody and humming along.
And do you tend to write everything and then write all the parts as well, or do you, or is it quite a collaborative thing with the band?
Bit of both, really. I usually have some ideas, and I'll usually record a demo which has like very roughly played ideas on keyboards for string lines and things like that, trumpet lines. And then I'll take it to the band, and then we'll jam through it, and then everything will be refined, and people will come in with their own ideas as well. So yeah, it's a combination.
What sort of thing can they expect from your gig?
We will be a 5-piece band, which is what we've kind of settled on for the past like 6 or 7 years. We've been a 5-piece. So yeah, it'll be quite eclectic. We're always quite eclectic. So there'll be some soft songs and some fun, upbeat songs. Yeah, so expect the unexpected.
Excellent. Yeah, we like that. And have you played Norfolk before? Well, other than Norwich, when Chris saw you?
Yeah, I think Norwich is the only place we've played. I could be wrong, but I know the area quite well, because I used to go on holiday to Cromer almost every year as a child, because I used to have 2 holidays. One was in Weston-super-Mare, where one grandma lived, and the other one was in Cromer, where my other grandma had a static caravan. So I used to go crabbing in Cromer all the time.
Excellent. Well, maybe in this visit we'll give you more inspiration, and even if it's just a road trip to Deepdale. So we'll see what happens.
Road trip when you go to that part of the country, isn't it?
Yeah.
Takes
I'm afraid the A17 or the A47 either are dreaded ways into the county. There's nothing we can do about that, unfortunately.
On the way and enjoy it.
I'm not sure the A17 is quite so romantic as Route 66, but hey,
though it just needs the right song.
Yeah, let me know when you drive the road whether you feel that it could be romantically. Are you doing a lot of live stuff at the moment, or is it a kind of a creative process at the moment?
It's creative. I'm trying to finish off an album which is kind of changing all the time, and I'm writing new songs. We're doing odd gigs, but we will be touring at the end of the year in November. We're going to be touring again for the first time in ages. And then, we've got some stuff lined up for next year, hopefully, as well. But that's all kind of just happening at the moment, being organised at the moment. So, we're starting to wind it back up again.
And are you going to have a chance to see any of the other acts at the festival, or are you dipping in and dipping out?
We'll probably dip in, but then hopefully hang around for a bit. So looking forward to just chilling out and enjoying some music.
Fantastic. If I played a track of yours, which one do you feel is going to kind of be good for the listening ear?
Well, for the listener, I would say our new song. It's quite a gentle acoustic number, but it was written during lockdown. And then latterly, Brian Eno got involved. It's just been released. It's called Braver the Waves.
Have you worked with Brian on this and other work, or just this track?
Yeah, we met him years ago because we saw an interview. Somebody alerted us to an interview online where he was talking about his favourite album of the year in 2009 was our debut album, The Sleeper, which really shocked me. I'm a massive Brian Eno fan, but I really didn't expect him to be a fan of ours. So somebody from our record label got in touch, and he invited us round for tea one day. So me and Christian went to his studio and just hung out and chatted with him. And he was such a nice guy, totally unpretentious, down to earth, but also like incredibly clever. We also got invited to his Christmas party, where I got incredibly drunk and accidentally put on a woman's jacket when I was leaving. I didn't realise, it took me far too long to realise that it was much too small for me, so that was quite embarrassing. But yeah, he's a lovely chap, and he worked with us on the last album. He did there was a song which I sent him. God knows I'll pay for it now. And I just sent it over to him, and he sent back loads of ideas unexpectedly. And so I did it again with this new album we're working on, and I sent him the track just as it was about to be mixed, actually. And he got back to me within 4 hours with loads of ideas, and so we just worked through them. Yeah, so I just don't know how he maintains that productivity and enthusiasm as he gets, because most old rock stars get quite jaded but he's as hungry as ever and inspired as ever, it seems. So it's amazing and it's inspirational.
Well, I'm a big Six music listener, and his name appears with all these amazing projects that kind of come up, and you just think, oh, okay. And then, I was doing some volunteering for the Norfolk and Norwich Festival, and there was a kind of orchestra playing in St Andrews Hall, and suddenly they were performing Brian Eno stuff, and it was like, okay, so that's completely different. So that's amazing. Oh, that must be a huge compliment to you when you get that sort of thing, an artist of that standing going, oh yes, this is my favorite album of the year. That's incredible.
So there's a guy in Rough Trade East in London who's like, he's called Nigel, and he's worked there for years and years and years, and he's quite an influential guy, because obviously they pick their albums of the year and stuff like that, and he chooses what they buy, but he really loved the album, and Eno's a regular in there. He goes to buy vinyl. And he went in and said, "You got any recommendations?" And he said, "Oh, I think you'll love this. It's The Sleeper by the Leisure Society. It's a bit like, it reminded him of the Kinks Village Green Preservation Society era." And Brian said, "Oh no, I don't think it's for me," and just walked on and looking around the aisle, looking around the racks. And so he put the first single on, The Last of the Melting Snow. And immediately Brian went up to the counter and said, "What's this?" And he said, "It's that album I recommended to you." And he bought a copy, and then he came back and bought 10 more copies to give to his friends.
My God. Wow. Yeah. You can't beat that sort of click, can you really? That's just fantastic.
Made me very happy indeed.
Well, been really lovely chatting with you, Nick. Thank you so much for joining me. We look forward to seeing you in just a few short weeks' time on the Brick Barn stage in Deepdale. It's going to be fantastic. Really looking forward to it. And you will make Chris a very, very happy man.
Oh, good. Yeah, I can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Brave are the waves that crash to the shore. Ours is a love made of leather. Send up a flare of fire to be seen. Save me a dream for my pillow. Oh, for the life, oh, for the life that we made. Soft as the voice that bends on the breeze. Make me a home from the willow. Won't summer send its song out to me, trapped in the arms of forever.
So I'm on Zoom. I am chatting to Annie Dressner, who is going to be playing on Saturday in the Orchard at Deepdale Festival. Lovely to have you with me.
So nice to be here. Thank you, Jason.
So how did a lady from New York City end up in the UK singing folk and soon to be performing at Deepdale Festival?
The very short answer is an open mic. And the longer answer is I met my husband in New York City, where I'm from, at an open mic, and he's British. And ultimately, we decided to live here. So
that's very cool. So open mics are useful for more than just being noticed by record labels.
I didn't know they were useful for being noticed by record labels.
I thought that was the whole point of them, but maybe not.
Maybe I don't know. I thought like I never knew that. And maybe it is, but I've maybe gone to the wrong open mics. No, my experience with open mics, which it was getting to learn how to play my own songs live, and that was really useful, and just meeting people and having like a community of musicians.
We like New York. It's a great city. If we're heading back there, what recommendations have you got? What have we got to go and visit?
You need to have a bagel from Essa Bagel.
Okay.
On First Avenue and 19th Street. And the Natural History Museum is really fun.
That's amazing. Lying under the blue whale is incredible.
But book it ahead, because if you go on the day, you'll be in the line for like at least an hour. What else? All the museums are wonderful. Obviously, Central Park is nice. I'm from near the East Village. I like it there. I don't know. Brooklyn's cool. New York's fun. I miss it. I'm going to go there to visit.
Yeah, we want to spend some more time in Brooklyn next time, but that's cool. But we feel we've seen quite a lot of Manhattan, but not enough of Brooklyn. So
yeah, it's cool.
Definitely the next place. So where are you based in the UK then?
In Cambridge.
Okay, so not that far down the road, really, from us.
No.
And have you played in Norfolk before? I'm guessing you must have been up this way.
I've played a couple of places. I've played at the Norwich Art Center twice.
I love that venue. It's a great
And I also
venue.
played the Grapevine a really long time ago.
Okay, yeah. For you, what's the best bit of music? Is it the creative process or is it the performing?
I think it depends. I think I like them both. So I really love writing songs. I feel like it's something that I didn't realize that I always did, but I've always made up songs. Like since I was a little kid, just singing randomly. I would be like the person singing in an elevator to myself or walking down the street singing. Sometimes I write, a lot of the times I write songs just to kind of process things I'm going through. And other times I just write songs to try to write songs. But I really enjoy it, and I've always loved performing. So both.
Kind of good. And do you find a song kind of really takes on a whole different life when it becomes something live rather than sitting in the studio playing on your guitar and playing with ideas? Do you find kind of ideas can be killed or brought alive by kind of a live audience?
I do sort of feel like you need to break a song in to know how to perform it. So I have a record coming out next year, with singles starting to come out pretty soon. And one of the songs from the record I've started playing live, and it's really fun. I enjoyed it before, but I have enjoyed it more since playing it live. I don't know why.
Quite a lot of artists sort of say that, you get a different vibe and a different energy.
I think that is it. I think it's like there is more energy put into it. So it's like, yeah, I do think that's correct.
And are you going to get to see any of the other artists when you're coming over, or are you just coming for your session?
That depends. I'm a mom, so that depends. But
I get that.
My friends Polly Paulsma and Catherine Williams, they're playing, and Chris Cleverly, I think he's playing on the Saturday. My friend
Amelia's playing on Sunday. Chris Cleverly's playing on Saturday, same day as you. And as you say, Polly and Catherine are playing on Thursday the 21st.
And is Michelle Stoddard also playing, or am I making
Michelle is going to be playing with Catherine in her band on the Thursday, and then she's got her solo set on Friday the 22nd.
Cool. I'd like to try to be there. So if I can, I will be.
I can imagine, yeah. 2 kids and planning festival visiting is a different level of organization than just a musician with a guitar.
A little bit.
And are you, when you perform, are you just solo with guitar, or is there other instruments involved?
Paul Goodwin, my husband, produced with me the last record and the upcoming record and the last record and other things. So prior to having kids, we used to play a lot together when we didn't need childcare, but we've started playing together again. So he's been playing keys and like organ and stuff and electric guitar, but I also sometimes play solo. And for I've got, when I have a tour for my record, I'd like to probably have more going on, but we'll see.
Got you. So when is the album likely to be out?
In the spring.
Well, we're really looking forward to seeing you at Deepdale Festival. It's going to be fantastic. If we played a sample of a song of yours, which one would you choose?
I would say my latest single, I've Always Been Like This.
Okay. And what was the inspiration behind that track?
I wrote it just because I always have felt like on the outside pretty much, except for when I don't, when like you meet those people that understand you.
Okay.
And so it just was a song that I wrote about that. And just, one of the lines is like the chorus is, well, it starts with I've always been like this, I'm always alone. And then the chorus goes except for the times few and far between, like basically when somebody knows who you are. So that's what I wrote the song about. And actually, I kind of wasn't sure that other people felt that way because it isn't anything I'd ever really said aloud. But since playing that song, it seems like a lot of people do feel that way, which is kind of comforting
I
and
think there's an awful lot of people who probably feel that way
a little bit sad.
an awful
that we
lot
all
of the
do.
time. Yeah. Well, really lovely to meet you on Zoom, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in person at Deepdale at the end of September. And we're really looking forward to your set on Saturday, the 23rd of September. It'll be great to have you with us.
I'm very much looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Jason.
Cheers. Thank you. Alex Hawkins. He is playing on Friday in the Brick Barn, and we're very excited. I think this is Alex's first visit to Deepdale. Is that right, Alex?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So welcome to the Deepdale podcast.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Fantastic. So where's home?
Home is currently, I live nearest to Diss in Suffolk, which is where I grew up.
So you're almost in Norfolk, but not quite.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'm right on the border. But in fact, funnily enough, I'm currently moving a load of stuff to a new place, and I've got this little cabin in my girlfriend's garden. Like deep, she's got a really big garden, and it's the cabin at the bottom of it, and that's in Norfolk. So I'm transferring over.
So Deepdale will be a local gig, effectively.
It will, exactly. Yeah.
Despite the fact that you're the opposite side of the county, so therefore probably the further away than London in some cases. Yeah. Excellent. And you know, we have a little bit of bio about each artist on the website, and I love the description of the fact that you're a mix of Sex Pistols, The Jam, Mark Bolan, T-Rex, and Oasis, and that's by John Coleman at the Sunday Times. How would you describe kind of what you produce and the music that you produce?
Okay. Well, I my number one for me is Bob Dylan. In my world, he's just the top. But as a writer, like I like his whole discography. There's so much different stuff, and that's what I'm very much influenced by. Like each project I'm working on, I try and kind of evolve it in a different way. And I think it kind of subconsciously evolves anyway, like that just naturally happens. But yeah, that's kind of me as an artist. It's definitely like folky. There's a lot of folk, blues and rock influence, heavily blues. It seems I'm currently working on a project, and it seems to be really it's really raw, bluesy sound. And yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I'm massively into and sort of portray, I think.
Is your favorite thing the creation process or the performing process?
So I started writing songs when I was 12, so it's now been 9 years, and I've written over 400 songs since I began. Wow. And I only really started gigging last year. So I'm kind of still going into that, turning into a performer rather than a sort of bedroom writer. I really, really love being in the studio, and that's always been the thing I've done to the point where I would happily just go and record albums and never put them out, and just to have that sort of time.
Yeah.
But in the past year, learning to what a performance is and how to go about that, and the thing that it can really bring out in you, and as well as the music, is really incredible, and something that I'm still kind of getting my learning to understand, but I'm really, really loving it. And so it's very early stages for me as a performer, and also because it was only last year I got together with a band, so I was solo, very much acoustic act up until last year, and now I've got a 3-piece behind me, so it's evolved in that way as well, and obviously changed the performance.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference. So you're not going to have people shouting Judas at you when you change over to an electric guitar like Bob Dylan did. So
this is ongoing joke, because I keep saying I like Bob Dylan, but then I come on and like play the heaviest stuff I could possibly play.
I have to admit, I wanted to see him forever, and I took Chris, who's the festival director, and his wife, and another friend to London to see him, and it was the most disappointing I've ever been with a gig ever.
Yes, I've heard this. My mum did the same.
Heartbroken. I kind of wish I could say I'm gutted I've never seen him live, rather than seeing him live and being that disappointed.
Did you? Because I hear that you can't really, because he's always changing melodies and changing arrangements. There's a lot of times when you get 4 minutes into the song and it's like, oh, it's this one.
To be honest, I'm not sure I recognised a single song in 2 hours, or understood one word he sang, which is heartbreaking, because I absolutely love his earlier stuff. But but I know other people who've been and just thought it was amazing. So what, who am I to know these things? There's something for everybody, isn't there, really? But I sort of wish he'd gone down as an artist that I wish I'd always seen, rather than an artist I saw and then was disappointed. So, but hey, nothing you can do about it. So have you got a really busy gigging schedule nowadays, or is it sort of picking the right events for you, or are you sort of just kind of building up your experience and really enjoying getting out there?
Yeah, that's interesting. I think, well, actually this summer I'm kind of having a bit of time off. I was very busy in the spring for the past few months, and I've only got a few festivals this summer, not too many gigs booked. Not really consciously, just it seems to be a good time for me to relax a little bit. I've definitely played like enough gigs that I'm in the way of, it's nice to know what kind of gig you want to play and pick it in the right way, because it's a shame to prep for a gig and turn up and there's 10 people watching you, like it's a real shame. But also, that any experience with playing live is super valuable anyway. I definitely want to be gigging more, and I'm going to be getting back into the swing of it in the autumn for sure.
And does gigging kind of help you develop the songs that you've written? So you said spend a lot of time and enjoyed the studio experience, but do you find songs evolve in a whole different way when they're performed live? Yeah,
100%. And especially hearing it, you kind of having, I think when I record it in studio, like I normally demo it at my house and do a full demo by myself. Then when you hear it live, it's like it's a completely different song to what I thought it was, just by hearing it with different amps and different blah blah blah, everything like that. It completely evolves it for sure. Yeah. And that can also lead to changing the actual arrangement of the song, which is exciting. And something I think I've always liked to work really quickly when I'm trying to make something. So when even in the writing process, I will try and write a song within an hour or two, and not overthink it and try and get too into it, and then go and record it within like a 5-hour gap, the whole song. But recently, as I'm now playing new songs live with the band before there's any studio recording, it's like it kind of gives it that time to evolve in different ways, which is something I haven't really done before, which is interesting.
That's cool. It's nice to know that playing live still forms a good part of people's creativity, really. I think that's really, really good, because I think there's so many, I know artists who've written stuff and recorded stuff in the studio, and then they go, oh my god, how am I going to tour this? This could be a nightmare. Well, we're really looking forward to seeing you play at Deepdale. It's going to be great fun. If you don't know anything about the festival, we describe it as small but perfectly formed. Few hundred big folk fans who really just love listening to music and are really appreciative of artists who make the journey. So I think you'll enjoy it a lot, and the beer is excellent, so that helps.
Good.
Yeah, so our friends at Moongazer Ale supply the beer, that's fantastic. And I think you'll really enjoy it. And the Brick Barn's a beautiful venue. You just have to imagine, as it used to be a grain drying barn, and now it's a music venue. So it works very well.
Yeah. So. I'm very excited to come. It's going to be great. So was it an old brewery or something?
No, it's part of the farm. The barn used to have the hoppers in the ceiling where it used to sort of put the grain into the barn, but we when we had a bit of a tidy up and a re-roof, we decided that probably didn't meet health and safety, so we took those down. Especially when you've got a decent amount of bass playing, the dust from the old grain used to sort of float down over the audience, so everybody left with a sort of grimy feel. It's a bit cleaner and tidier now with a much better roof, so no more water dripping onto amps and that kind of thing. So a bit less rustic, but still with a rustic charm.
Yeah, of course. So, no, I'm very excited.
Excellent. Well, we will see you in September. For anybody who doesn't know about Alex, just jump on the Deepdale Festival website and you'll see links to his website and Facebook and Instagram and SoundCloud and that sort of thing. If we're going to play a little sample track of yours, what should we play?
You could have a listen to the new track, Biro Blue, that came out in the spring, just gone. It's been out a few months now, but yeah, for sure, go and have a listen to that.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Alex. That's fantastic to have you with us.
Thank you.
French and she's Greek and she's lovely. She teaches me about the world in parts. She gives and she takes like a dancer. She acts, she sings, she makes drawings of art. I'm gonna show the world everything you do. Written with my hand in Biro blue. Her sister moves like a free spirit. Now that's a certain fact. She twists and turns like a carousel and then falls down on her back.
I'm chatting on Zoom. I am chatting to the John Ward Trio, and they are playing on Friday in the Orchard. They have played at Deepdale before. It's going to be lovely to have these guys back. Anybody who's seen them knows how musically superb they are. Hello, and will you introduce yourself? Say hello.
Hello, well, I'm John of the John Ward Trio, very imaginatively titled.
Bet you spent hours on that name.
And I'm Lynn Ward, I'm John's wife, and we are 2/3 of the John Ward Trio, and the other member of the trio is Les Woodley. So Les does wonderful, beautiful harmony, and plays double bass and mandolin, and I do normally the second harmony and play accordion. John here writes all the amazing songs.
He's biased.
And generally guitar and baron.
And the harmonica.
How does the creative process work? Do you kind of get the gist of what you want to put together, John, and then the others kind of merge into it, or do you tend to have a fully formed thing before you even rehearse?
It varies. I mean, I write the song. The song is complete before I, pluck up the courage to sing it to them and say, "What do you think?" And sometimes I have a few strong ideas about what I would like on it, but probably more often than not, it's a case of, because we've been playing a while now together and they're very good, going through it, and they go, "Oh yeah," and they pick it up a bit, and then things start to happen. And on some things, it's a very quick process, and go, "Oh, that's really working." And other ones you have to battle it through a little bit and discuss and decide what we're gonna, where the accordion's going to be, or if it's going to be mandolin or double bass and so on. So it varies.
Which is your preferred, gigging or writing and developing the music?
Oh, it's a tough one. Well, I think I don't know if I could pick really, because in terms, I mean, I've always written songs, I've always written things. I would do that anyway. I enjoy doing it. I would continue to do it even if we weren't gigging, I suppose. But there is a big fat "what's the point if you're not gigging?"
Yeah,
and we do enjoy the playing, don't we? I mean, it's great to have. We've just played 3 gigs in the last 3 nights around the M25 area.
Yeah,
and we've had lovely gigs, haven't we? And
We have, yeah.
to hear the songs go down well.
Yeah, lovely, appreciative audiences in the folk club. Very enjoyable the past few days.
Yeah. It's hard to say, to be honest, one without the other. They're both balanced up, but certainly, having in the middle of a string of 5 and 5 nights at the moment, it's really enjoyable playing live. It'd be hard to not to have it in your life. It's great.
and is the creative process for you quite quick? Are you sort of, do you get an idea and then a song forms very quickly, or is it something that is pretty painstaking?
That's varied as well. That varies considerably as well between, it really is hard to say. I mean, I think probably would be fair to say what happens for me more often than not is it's quite fast. The initial sort of words, verse, chorus, or something all can happen quite quickly, and then so maybe that's 80% of it, and the final 20% can take a long time to find those right words, to find the missing line, to get that tune just right. So that's that. But I mean, there's a song we do called "Watching Old Faces Grow Young," which is about the folk scene and the joys of playing music together. And I mean, to say it took 20 years to write would be, it was not quite like that, but I had the idea 20 years before I finished the song, because I kept going back to it because I liked the idea. But I couldn't get it right. And then I'd ditch it and start all over again, and ditch it and start all over again. And then one day I sort of started again. So I still like that idea. And I found my way in, and then it was all right.
I think also, I don't know if John would agree with me here, once he's written a song and he feels it's fully formed, and Les and I and John start to sing it and try to perform it, there's another little bit of the evolution of the song that happens at that point, isn't there? Where you're trying to get the harmonies and the instrumentation right, the arrangement, I guess. And you can adjust the song at that point a little bit, maybe a little bit melody-wise, even the odd word or two.
Yeah, that's right.
Just to kind of bed in the performance of it.
So, once you actually get singing the song in a practical way, if you like, and you're rehearsing it and getting to, because the thing about songwriting is that, and learning the song, this is, I think, quite interesting really, is that if you're doing a cover song, if you're learning a song that you've been lived with for all your life, well, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
With your own song, you don't know how it goes. You've got to actually learn. You've never heard it before. I've not heard it before. And so once we actually start rehearsing it up and singing it and hearing the harmonies going, as Lynn says, you go, that lyric doesn't quite work now, actually. And you have to adjust that lyric a little bit, or you phrasing, or you find another, there might be a moment where you go, actually, that little chord there is, I could adjust that slightly. So those little things happen.
So sometimes it can change the song, put a little emphasis somewhere or a nuance where you hadn't been expecting it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's really interesting and enjoyable.
And sometimes, Lynn and Les will say, well, new words, new tune could be good.
Yeah, that's probably the least happy moment of a song's development. Yeah, just start completely again from scratch, and you'll have something quite good there. Yeah. Well, we really are looking forward to you coming back to Deepdale. You've been to Deepdale a few times now, haven't you?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, it's lovely.
3 or 4 or something. So yeah.
We thoroughly enjoy it. It's a lovely little festival in a beautiful part of the world. We're fond of North Norfolk, and we head up there sometimes with ACT. We stayed at Deepdale, in our camper van. It's really lovely, and the walks around there and the birds and everything. And the festival itself is very friendly, isn't it? And we have a good time.
Very friendly. Chris is a great guy.
Yeah.
He runs a lovely festival, and it's a great pleasure to be invited back. Looking forward to it. We haven't been on the garden stage. Is it called the Orchard? Sorry, the Orchards.
The Orchard stage. Yeah, no, I don't think you've played that one yet, have you? So looking forward to, I think you'll fit that really well. People tend to sort of find their little nest at the Orchard stage and sort of set up for the day, and there and everything else. They sort of tend to become very comfortable. Yeah, fingers crossed. It'll be another fantastic weekend. Well, we really are looking forward to playing. You're playing Friday on the Orchard stage. What track would you like us to play to sort of finish this?
Well, we've got a new album out, which is a book as well. So it better be one off the new album, because that would be daft, wouldn't it? If we didn't do that.
Yeah, John's written a wonderful piece. So what would you call it, John? Like a long narrative poem in a book about Buffalo Bill's visit to the UK in 1903 and 1904.
Oh, fantastic!
23 new songs and tunes to go with that, and it was played on the BBC Two folk show. Fantastic. And also the BBC Radio Suffolk serialised it in 5 parts. It's on BBC Sounds.
Yeah, but
so something from there.
Something from that, probably Adrift. Do you think? What do you think?
Oh, Adrift. Yeah.
Yes, we think Adrift.
Yeah.
There you go.
Adrift. Okay, brilliant. Well, lovely to speak to you both. Thank you so much.
Looking forward to it, and thanks for inviting us to
thanks
speak on
for
the
chat.
podcast.
Cheers.
Thank you.
We sail adrift upon an ocean with no mark to hold our hearts. Sometimes I stand, sometimes I'm broken. I miss the land of which I was part. The winds of change blow right through me. Take my breath and turn me round. The waves roll on with might and fury. I turn to you for solid ground. Sail on through sorrow, sail on to the dawn. Who knows what lies tomorrow? But when all hope is gone, what can we do? We just sail on. Will this cruel sea come and claim me and take me down before I cross? Where is the strength that could sustain me What can we do? We just sail on. What can we do? We must sail on.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Deepdale podcast. This was episode 4 in the Deepdale Festival 2023 special episodes. And there's another one to follow with Catherine Williams and various other artists. We really hope we will see you at Deepdale Festival from the 21st to the 24th of September. At the time of recording, there are 1 or 2 non-electric pitches on our campsite, but there are also plenty of day tickets both for the whole weekend and for the individual days. For any more information on the festival, including the incredible lineup, please head to deepdalefestival.co.uk. And please listen back to any of the other podcasts in this special series. Just search Deepdale Podcast in any good podcast app or directory. Thanks for listening. See you, hopefully, at the end of September.
Skies all open wide, geese go high and over. Oh, now you're a beachcomber, fistful of samphire, sea, lavender. See ya next year.